Hello and welcome to a new episode of Underground, where we take a social media tour around the globe to detect users' reactions to events. I'm Muntaha Mu'adhin. In today's show, social media contributing to the spread of news of Palestinians' daily sufferings in Israeli jails. Egypt, a troubled country with a prime minister tweeting about the Smurfs. Cyber attack on Israel, anonymous hacks into various Israeli governmental websites. And finally, multimedia corporations use April 1st to gain more popularity. We're starting today's episode out of Palestine, where the expanded usage of social media platforms allows the spread of news of Palestinians' daily sufferings in Israeli jails. Now, it wasn't the first time that a Palestinian prisoner dies in jail, but this time a social media campaign was launched to let the world hear about Israeli violations to international law as well as the Geneva Convention when dealing with Palestinian prisoners. The son of Maysara Abu Hamdiya, the Palestinian prisoner who died of cancer in Israeli jails, sent this YouTube message to Palestinian authorities. Take a listen.
اوعوا تفكروا انه قضية ميسرة هي قضية إنسانية. ميسرة هو قضية وطنية. ميسرة قضية وطنية زي قضية فلسطين، بتشعر انها ما بتنحل الا اذا هالقيادة بتنحل. ميسرة مش قضية سجين أو مريض. ميسرة قضية سلطة وحكومة بتقول ليل نهار نحن عاجزون. سلطة عاجزة أمام كل موضوع وطني. كل موضوع له قيمة. عاجزة أمام الاستيطان. عاجزة أمام القدس. عاجزة أمام اللاجئين. عاجزة أمام الاحتلال. عاجزة أمام الفساد. عاجزة لدرجة انك بتفكر انها هالقيادة من اصغر صبي لاكبر شنب تجمع للعجزة والمعاقين. فجأة بتبطل هالقيادة عاجزة عن ضرب الناس. دولتنا عاجزة انها تحرر اسير واحد، لكن ما عجزت تضربني لاني كنت في مظاهرة عشان غزة. وغير عاجزة عن إرسال دوريتين أمن حتى يمنعوا الناس تغضب على الاحتلال كل ما الاحتلال يرتكب جريمة. غير عاجزة عن ضبط النفس. غير عاجزة عن شراء عفش وثير وسيارات ومكاتب لهيئة مكافحة الفساد، بالرغم من أنه هالهيئة عاجزة أمام الفساد. غير عاجزة عن كشف مخازن السلاح والأنفاق وخلايا المقاومة. غير عاجزة عن الحصول على تصاريح لفخامته ولعطوفته ولمعاليه ولسيادته. ميسرة قضية قيادة استمرأت الذل، استمرأت الثروة والكبر على ذل، لدرجة إنها بتطبق أوسلو من الجلدة للجلدة بحذافيره وعلى الطريقة الحنبلية. وبنفس الوقت ما بتمون تتدخل تطلع ضابط واحد من شبابها اللي خدموا البلد. قضية ميسرة بتقول لك على المكشوف انه كل الكلام عن المصالحة كذب ودجل. الجهاز اللي خدم فيه ميسرة تركه في السجن بدون حتى محامي لانه في كلمة حماس في ملفه. ميسرة رح يموت، وسواء مات على البرش أو في البوسطة أو في العدد، هو كان من البداية عارف وين مصيره ممكن يكون، وراح يموت شريف. لكن موته مخزية للي بتسمي حالها قيادة.
On its part, Palestinian authorities blamed Israel for not allowing treatment of Maysara Abu Hamdiya, who was denied hospital release. Outrage exploded in Palestine, where people took to the streets to protest the killing in a day of anger. We have videos that show the crackdown on protesters and journalists in that day by Israeli soldiers. Take a look. Moving on to Egypt, where Egyptian Prime Minister Hashim Kandil seems to be finding time for the obscure mobile game Smurf's Village. Maybe you won't believe that a government official is playing the game until you see the feed on his Twitter account reading, Dr. Smurf prescribes cake, spice and Smurf berries as part of a healthy diet. This tweet triggered many comments by other users. One sarcastically tweeted, "Someone's having a very productive day at the office." Another, "No reason to bash at Hashim Kandil for his tweet. His Excellency was giving us tips for a healthy diet." Also from Egypt, where the Egyptian revolutions inspired individuals to campaign and use social media as a platform to protest and criticize daily events. Egyptian comedian Bassem Youssef, known for his satirical political programs on YouTube and recently on TV, was called for questioning by the Egyptian court after Youssef was reported to have made jokes at the expense of President Morsi and the Muslim Brotherhood. Backlash against the court's summoning was seen on social media worldwide. Watch this video.
小孬孬美国驻开罗大使馆本周仅酷了2.5秒。在推特上发布一条每日秀精彩捍卫埃及主持人兼讽刺名嘴巴西姆尤塞夫的影片连结。影片中，强史都华对有埃及版强史都华之称的尤塞夫表达支持。尤塞夫因冒犯总统穆尔西跟伊斯兰教，而被穆尔西象征性关进大牢，但不久后即获得保释。埃及官员们对该推特文大为光火。 他们在推特上炮轰美国大使馆，指他们参与这种负面政治宣传极度不恰当。后来，美国大使馆为了挽救情势，竟然为了删除该推特文，把整个推特账号冻结。虽然他们后来把账号重新开启，但伤害已经造成。
And events moved further to a diplomatic rift in which the official Twitter account of Egypt's presidency chastised the U.S. Embassy in Cairo feed for posting the Daily Show clip of Jon Stewart criticizing President Mohamed Morsi. The tweet by Egypt's presidency reads, "It's inappropriate for a diplomatic mission to engage in such negative political propaganda." To talk more about social media role in Egypt, we are joined via Skype by Mr. Ahmed Qutb. He's a freelance interviewer and young intellectual from Egypt. Welcome to the show.
Welcome.
Mr. Qutb, we would start by that a lot of questions or a lot of things have been said about the role of social media in the Middle East region and especially Facebook in motivating the uprisings in the world. Now talking about Egypt here, what role did social media play after the election of President Mohamed Morsi?
Okay, there's one major change have occurred in social media channels, especially Facebook, between the time before revolution, before January 2011, and after January 2011. Before the revolution, social media could made a successful mobilization, public mobilization of public opinion and many political and public streams against Mubarak's regime. Indeed, we have to confess or acknowledge that Mubarak could successfully unite people against him. The main drift, if we can name it a drift or difference after the revolution in social media especially and in all media channels generally, that people and political streams have been scattered and differentiated into many contradicting or opposing parties and streams and orientations. There was a noticeable, obvious
shift in dealing with social media, probably. Because people said that social media motivated the uprising in Egypt, and it actually started on Facebook. But after this duration and after the presidential election, I would like to know more. What happened on social media?
After the first presidential election, what I can see and talk about especially is that social media has been widely used and utilized by political streams, especially liberal streams, and the Muslim Brotherhood on the other side, and the other Islamic streams or political streams with Islamic background. The main aspect that is appearing obviously that many streams and parties and media channels
also young activists are utilizing social media in the Egypt uprising. Here I would like to know how much of what is said on social media is reality versus how much is just rumors.
I can say that 60% or more is just rumors against 40% or less belonging to real concrete actions or events on the ground.
Is this according to your own perspective, or are there any statistics?
We can say, actually, I have no clear statistics, but I can say that this is according to my my own monitoring day to day to social media. I have more than 3,000 friends in Facebook. I have
so
Twitter
do you
account.
think here that social media in Egypt is gaining public trust, or everybody knows about this fact?
Look, if we have to answer this question accurately, we have to divide people and the main spectrum of public opinion into two main categories: the youth and teenagers category, and the old people, our fathers and mothers and all sisters and brothers. This traditional people category is still having deep trust to official media channels, official TV station, and they are still following and watching satellite channels and unfortunately believing many rumors that are propagated through these media channels. However, on the other side, young people in 30s, 20s and teenagers are having
they are depending actually on social media to voice their wants or demands.
Not exactly this, but they have their own new culture that is based upon their own mind reference, their own
about the usage of sarcasm, Mr. Ahmed Qutb, in social media, which is widely spread. What do you say? Does this fit moral measurements?
I cannot say that it is not fitting completely, because sarcasm is basically a major part in Egyptian culture. We are all sarcastic people here. So social media just have become one new channel, a newly deployed channel for sarcasm.
My last question for you, would you see any censorship to social media? Do you think that is needed, or is it impossible?
One word I can say it, the conception of social media is totally contradicting with the word of censorship. It's people who are talking. How can you shut all people's mouths?
Sure. Thank you, Mr. Ahmed Qutb, for joining us from Egypt. You are a freelance interviewer and a young intellectual. Now join us for more leads on Underground after this short break. Stay tuned.
When there's a political fraud, we will act. When there is greed and corruption, we will act.
When there are voices that are being silenced, we will act. Direct act. We're acting.
Direct act, where actions really matter.
Direct act, where actions really matter.
Welcome back. One of our social media leads for this week comes out of Saudi Arabia. where women are finally allowed to ride bicycles. This made big news on the internet. One commenter posted this YouTube video. Take a listen.
Saudi Arabia has eased the ban on women riding bikes. Now, I use the term eased as opposed to repealed because it is not a broad-based repeal, Lewis. There are still strict limitations. Women will be allowed to ride motorbikes and bicycles, but only in restricted areas and only, Lewis, for entertainment purposes, recreational purposes, not for commuting, not for transportation, exactly. And the Al-Yam Daily cited an unnamed official from the religious police saying women can ride bikes in parks and recreation areas, but they must be accompanied by a male relative and dressed in the full head-to-toe garb that we are very, very familiar with, Lewis. Saudi Arabia is, of course, very, very conservative interpretation of Islam. Women are banned from driving. Women banned from riding motorcycles, bicycles in public places. So it's not clear what triggered the lifting of this ban. Congratulations, though. They are now up to about the 1800s, which is definitely closer to modern society.
I guess so. I mean, this is the country we're giving billions, trillions of dollars to. Yeah,
I understand. It's a disaster.
Now, the Israeli entity seems not to tolerate those who refuse the mandatory service at Israeli army. A 19-year-old Israeli was sentenced to jail after he refused to serve in the military. He tells his story in this YouTube video. Take a listen.
קוראים לי נתן בלנק, אני בן 19, אני בחיפה. בשנה שעברה הייתי בשנת שירות בירושלים, בעמותת בקהילה. וכשסיימתי שנת שירות אז היה לי תאריך גיוס נובמבר השנה. והגעתי ב-19 בנובמבר לבקו"ם ואמרתי שאני מסרב להתגייס לצה"ל. מאז אני כבר כמה חודשים כל פעם נשפט מחדש על סירוב פקודה וחוזר לכלא ומשם שוב הביתה ושוב לבקו"ם. בעצם הסיבה העיקרית שאני מסתרב, הגרעין של למה אני מסתרב זה שאני מרגיש שהמדינה שלנו הולכת לכיוון, למצב לא דמוקרטי של אי שוויון בעצם אזרחי בינינו לבין הפלסטינאים, שהמצב הלא שוויוני הזה הולך להישאר. ואני מרגיש שלצה"ל יש חלק גדול בזה בשימוש למצב הזה, ואני לא יכול מבחינה מצפונית לקחת בזה חלק.
We have another YouTube video created earlier of several objectors who refused to serve in the Israeli army for similar reasons. Take a look.
We are Israeli conscientious objectors. That means we refuse to serve in the Israeli army.
Because they are occupying another people, the Palestinians.
Palestinian kids can't go to school because of checkpoints.
Or even get health care.
Many young Palestinians go to prison for no reason.
A lot of them have been killed.
Or their homes demolished.
The government says this policy is keeping us safe.
But denying Palestinians their basic human rights puts us all in danger.
It's illegal.
It's wrong.
It's immoral.
It's against my personal beliefs.
When I was growing up, I believed in war heroes and dying for a piece of land and everything for my brothers and sisters here, the Jewish community in Israel. I wanted to be a soldier until I was like 17 or something. I was sure that that's okay, but when I was really small, I always cared about human rights, and my dream when I was like 8 was to be at Amnesty International and all those things. But I only awoke when I was about 16, 17, that all of those things I've been told in the education system and in my family and everywhere, you know, my friends, and it's everywhere in Israel. So maybe I should double check them. Maybe not everything is as I thought it was. In Israel, when you're born, you're a soldier to be, and your brothers and your sisters are soldiers, and your parents and your grandparents. It's not something that's far away from you. It's your best friends. And when you challenge them, and when you tell them in the face and in public like I did, that you contempt them for doing that, for executing war crimes every day, they attack you personally. Although you don't do it, I didn't do it personally, you know. My opinions and my views are against using violence.
Now, the anonymous hacker group, which earlier promised a cyber attack against Israel, launched a major one against a large number of Israeli websites. Anonymous and its allies claim the attacks have been widespread and very successful, causing more than $3 billion in loss. We bring you a video of an anonymous member while hacking the Israeli air navigation website. This story was widely spread on social media, and while some were skeptical, like Maher Isa, who wrote, "New WikiLeaks, a new playground of deception, personal attacks and false emails," others were excited and commented, "I think the cyber attack was real. If it wasn't, why then would Israel cut the internet? And why did they call for help from France and the US?" Zoya added, "This cyber attack reminds us of Arabs, to remember that our common enemy is Israel." And last comment, the cyber attack proved that Arab people or the Arab youth are able to do something without their leaders. In other news, the widespread usage of unmanned predator drones across the Muslim world has to great extent been ignored in the mainstream Western media. To fill in the coverage void, social media has played an increasingly important role. For example, the Twitter account DroneStream gives updates about each drone strike since 2002. Another Instagram account called DroneStagram gives images of the areas in which drone strikes occur. This is not to mention the civilian deaths and casualties caused by these attacks. This image of a child holding the sign, "Drones kill innocent children like us," was highly circulated on Facebook. One commented, "Drones should be illegal all over the world, just like the usage of landmines, and countries and leaders that use them should be held accountable for crimes against humanity." Our last lead in today's show is about April Fool's Day. While people have traditionally taken advantage of April 1st to tell jokes, today in the internet age, April 1st has become a day for companies and organizations to promote imaginary events and products. For example, Google announced Google Knows, and YouTube announced its closure.
We're excited to announce Google Knows Beta, our flagship olfactory knowledge feature enabling users to search for smells. Our mobile aroma indexing program has been able to amass a 15 million centibyte database of smells from around the world.
With an elegant integration into our existing knowledge panels, the Google Knows Beta Smell button seamlessly connects scent to search.
By intersecting photons with infrasound waves, Google Knows Beta temporarily aligns molecules to emulate a particular scent.
Google Knows Beta works on nearly all desktops, laptops, and quite a few mobile devices. In the fast-paced world that we live in, we don't always have time to stop and smell the roses. Now, with Google Knows Beta, the roses are just a click away.
We are so close to the end. Tonight at midnight, YouTube.com will no longer be accepting entries. After 8 amazing years, it is finally time to review everything that has been uploaded to our site and begin the process of selecting a winner. Every video that has been uploaded to our site will be reviewed by our staff of 30,000 technicians. They'll narrow down the submissions, and then our STEAM panel will select the best video, which will be announced when the website goes back online in 2023, featuring the winner of YouTube and nothing else.
We hope you weren't hit by any of these corporate lies, and we say a lie is a lie in any month or season, and if real or virtual. This was it for today. Many thanks for watching. Bye-bye.